So I thought it would be fun to do an outdoor project, a springtime project, and I came up with this planter box. And as I was looking at a lot of different styles and types of planter boxes, they're all really expensive if you want to buy them, because they're all made from either cedar or redwood or teak, expensive woods that will hold up to the weather and to the moisture and everything that's going to be in them. And well, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this, so I just thought I'll just make it out of pine, out of 2x4s and some garden edging, and if the thing rots in a few years, well, I'll just build a new one, because this thing only cost me about 20 bucks to make. I used 2 2x3s, 2 2x4s, and I used 5 of these redwood bender boards. These are sold in the garden departments of home centers and lumber yards, and they're used for edging out in the garden. All of the lumber cost me $13.35. The hardware cost $7.64. To make one of these planter boxes cost $20.99. Not too bad. So I'm going to use 2 2x4s to make the 4 corner posts. I'm just going to glue these together, but I think I'm going to cut these in half first. I think they'll be easier to glue that way. Now, of course, you could go all woodworking on this and plane it down nice and smooth and run it through the jointer before you glue them together, but they're pretty flat the way they are, and I just kind of squish them together and it works out fine. Now I can take my 2x3s and I'm going to cut these into 18 3/4 inch lengths. I got 8 of those cross pieces cut. Now, with these all dry, I'm going to run these through my table saw and square them up. Now I can cut them in half, giving me 4 pieces. This is way bigger than I wanted it to be, so I'm glad I kind of set it up so I could get a sense of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to take these down a little bit. And there's my new size. I like that better. Alright, so here's how I'm going to assemble this. I'm going to take these pieces, the one with the notches in it, and since that notch is a little offset, I want this part, the thinner part, to be at the front of the box. So this needs to go down here. Now I'm going to call this the base of the box, and it's going to have a couple of legs on it. Now to get these all exactly at the same position, I'm going to use one of these as a spacer. So it'll go up from the bottom. This one will go here. Now I don't want this to go all the way down, so I also have a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that's going to raise it up to the halfway mark there. So now what I can do is line everything up, and I'm going to put one also up here. I'm not going to screw it in yet. I'm just going to set it up there, and I'm going to clamp this together. Now this clamp is just going to hold it together temporarily while I drill some holes for the lag screws. So my drill bit isn't long enough to go as far as I need it for these 4-inch lag screws, but it went far enough that I've got a mark on this cross piece. So now I can loosen the clamp and continue drilling that hole a little bit deeper on each side. Now I can put in these lag screws. I'm using 1/4 inch lag screws and 4 inches long. I've kind of been going back and forth whether I wanted to put glue on this or just use the lag screws, and I don't know. I'm going to try it with the lag screws. I can always remove them and add glue if I need to. So yeah, that's a little wobbly. I think I'm going to go ahead and put glue on those and the lag screws. Got all of my slats cut, and so what I'm going to do is start putting them into both of the grooves. Here's the tricky part now, is to get it lined up in here and get these slats in there. So this is just going to take some fussing with. Okay, so there's my first side, and these slats are just floating in there, and I've left a little gap in between each one, you know, so it gives it room for water to drain out and for, you know, some expansion of the wood. So getting these on and all these slats in is definitely a challenge, but I just keep working with it, and eventually they all fall into place. And I've cut out a bunch of slats for the bottom. Let me show you how that's going to work out. I had to notch out the corners on 2 of these, and so that they can fit down in over there. And then I've just cut the rest of the boards to set down on that ridge. And I see no reason to screw these in or glue them in or anything. I'll just let them sit like that, and the weight of the dirt will hold them in. I decided to cover up the top of this and these posts with just some more of that bender board that I've cut at 45-degree angles, and I'll just tack it on. So that's the completed planter box. I still need to get some dirt in it and plant something in it. But, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you could change this around if you wanted to. You certainly don't have to put these top pieces on there. One of the things I was thinking about doing was just to make these posts a little longer, and then, you know, maybe making a finial or something for the top of them, like a little wooden ball or something. Another thing, you don't necessarily have to cut these grooves into the rails here to put these slats in. I think if you wanted to, you could just use these 2x3s and just screw those slats right into the back of it. I think that would be fine. It would be a lot easier too than this. I don't know, you might want to cover up the lag bolts, or not even use them at all, really. I'm not sure. You could probably just glue the whole thing together, and I think it would hold also. So anyways, there's a lot of different options on this. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.